Hello, 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 my beloved souls. It's Woke Wednesday. How are you? Happy November. Happy belated Halloween. Happy belated Samhain, Samhain, however you pronounce it. Day of the Dead, All Saints Day. It's been like a really, really busy week. Sorry if I'm oily. I've been like doing errands and working and doing everything. So, anyway, beautiful portals opening. The veil is still thin. We're still in the middle of eclipse season. Mars just went retrograde. Um, there's so much happening behind the scenes for the collective, right? So you just want to be really mindful of like how you're showing up in the world, how you're communicating. Mars retrograde has kind of like a Mercury retrograde energy. So communication, right, can be kind of misconstrued as you hear the airplane going over me, which hasn't happened all freaking day. It's like connect with you guys. You can expect some like delays in travel or shifts going around, right? You might have plans to do all of these things, and then like next thing you know, your schedule just gets a wrench gets thrown in it. Things come awry. Things come up at the last minute. Things get changed at the last minute. You know, it's just like stay in the flow, have high expectations, but don't attach yourself to anything. Not during this time. Um, things can be a little, chaotic during this eclipse season. We just had the eclipse in Scorpio on the 25th, and then we're moving towards the eclipse in Taurus on the 8th. So a lot still happening behind the scenes. Look, I'm getting covered in freaking angel bumps just talking about how intense this eclipse season is, right? And then we have the veil being all thin. So our ancestors are really coming forward right now to support us on this journey, as well as the angelic realm and, all the beings of the purest light and the highest vibration that are coming through. And the retrogrades slow us down, right? So Mars is a planet of passion and fire and motivation and getting things going and sex and like all the taxes, all this like extra stuff, right? Um, and that energy is kind of being dialed back a bit. So whatever projects you may have started, whatever initiations you have going on, right? Don't be surprised if things take a little bit longer than they normally would. And don't look at that as like a bad thing. It doesn't mean that like you're on the wrong path or you shouldn't be doing this stuff. Delays are not um like no's, right? It's not like a period in your sentence. It's a comma, right? It's just a pause. It's like we need to reflect. We need to look at things a little differently. Sometimes you need to take a step back in order to move forward, right? So all of that happening, communication, travel, love, beauty, creativity, all of that stuff is being heightened at this time. Um, Especially because as we went into eclipse season, Venus was in Scorpio during that time, and as we're going towards the next eclipse, the lunar eclipse, it's going to be in the sign of Taurus, which is also ruled by Venus. So she's having a field day up there with us and helping us to have better relationships with love and better relationships with beauty and creativity and also with our finances, right? Like finances is being hit as well. So if you're in the mental state of understanding that you create your own economy, you're going to traverse these energies a little bit differently than the rest of the collective. But it doesn't mean that you're not going to have an awareness of things or that maybe you're not going to be affected by all these things. It's just a matter of how you're looking at them and how you're responding to them, right? Not reacting, responding, right? Reactionary energies are kind of intense and we're not thinking things through, and that comes from a space of fear and not being grounded, right? Responding is when you're in alignment, you're kind of grounded, you're kind of centered, and you're looking at the big picture of things, and then you're making a decision, right? You're like in alignment with your higher self before you move forward. Completely different energies, and you kind of want to have that energy with everything, especially like I said, with Mars being retrograde and all that fiery energy of Mars, right? People are kind of like a little on edge right now, right? There can be arguments, there can be misunderstandings, there can be a lot of aggression, there's going to be a lot of projection, right? And so understanding the difference between what's being projected out to you and what's being reflected back to you is really important at this time, right? We want to be really discerning. Sorry, my hair keeps getting in my eye, and every time I try to move it, it's like it moves and then it moves back, it moves and it moves back. So that's also an indication to me that like maybe um your vision might be a little distorted at this time, right? Especially if you're here, right? And you're one of the awakened ones because you're here for Woke Wednesday, so you're probably a part of the woo woo crew, right? Whether you resonate as like a light worker, a way shower, a crystal, an indigo, or a warlock, a witch, a shaman, like a healer, like however you choose to freaking categorize yourself, a twin flame, whatever, divine masculine, divine feminine. Um, we're being guided to see things beyond the physical realm, right? And so I feel like for some of you, not for some of you, really for probably almost all of you, very few, if not, that your psychic gifts are being really activated at this time, right? My third eye has been going crazy all day. I thought I was gonna freaking rub the freaking skin off my forehead because I just like all day, all day, all day, clearing, 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 clearing. So whether you're clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient, right, clairtangent, however you work with these gifts, right? If you're a Reiki healer, or if you're working with like plant medicine, whatever it is, it's like being amplified. It's being people are going to be magnetized towards you, and your skills are going to be amplified. So don't be shocked if you're getting more and more people drawn to your light, more and more people drawn to your energy, more and more people who are in resonance with what it is that you do and are in need of your services, and however that is that you're choosing to show up in a collective, right? Sometimes it might just be a listening ear for somebody, right? We really need to be mindful of that, right? Like not everybody that comes to us is looking for advice or for healing. Some people just need a platform. Some people just need somebody to listen to them. Sometimes you just need to get it out of your body, right? If in case you're not into journaling, that's why we have people, right? Like me and other members of the High Vibe tribe, like we listen all day, right? We hold space for one another, like so. Just be really, really mindful of that at this time. Um, so, if your hand chakras are doing a little bit more, if you're having really vivid dreams, if your ears have been ringing, if you're feeling like electrical currents in your body, however this energy is showing up for you within your awareness, within your physical realm, right? Just kind of like follow through with it and see where it leads you, right? Go down that beautiful rabbit hole. You never know where it's going to take you. So anyway, thank you, angels and guys, for being here with me and the Woo Woo crew on this beautiful Woke Wednesday. What do they need to know? What do they need to see in regards to these beautiful energies that are going on? What do they need to know and what do they need to see? I'm pulling from the Work Your Light deck, and I'm also going to pull from the Angels and Ancestors deck because the veil is thin, babies. The veil is thin. We're also leading up to the 11/11 portal. So the next few weeks are going to be very intense. Very intense. Bottom of the deck. No. Wait. Postpone. Pause. Say no. Right? That's that retrograde energy. Stepping back, just chill, right? Give it a minute, right? Mars can be very impatient, can be very pushy. Mars rules Aries as well as Scorpio, right? And we're in Scorpio season, so Mars wants things done right now, but right now you're being like, just pause, just wait a minute. It's like wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, and I know that's not always easy. It's like sometimes we get these intuitive prompts or we get this guidance and we're like, oh my God, that would be so great. And we get this amazing download from the Most High about what it is that we're supposed to be doing, and we want to take off running for it right away. But sometimes the information is coming to us not for something that we need to do right in this present moment, but just so that we have an awareness of it so we can start preparing for it when the moment does come. So there's nothing wrong with waiting sometimes, right? There's nothing wrong with postponing. There's nothing wrong with pausing and taking a step back and kind of reflecting and seeing things from another perspective. Sometimes you need to move backwards in order to move forward, right? And that doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong or that you're not on path or that you're crazy or you're overthinking this or it's never going to work. It just means sometimes you just need to take a step back from things for a minute in order to move things forward. Literally. That's all. All right. Protection. Call back your power. Cut the cord. Soul retrieval. A lot of this going on right now, right? So especially as this veil is thin, and the veil is not only thin for those of us that work with the light, right? The veil is also thin for those that are not in alignment with their sovereignty and their truth and their own light, right? So you want to make sure that you are doing things to keep yourself guarded and protected at all times, right? I wear crystals. I shield myself in a pillar of light. I ask Archangel Michael all the time to put um, an angel from his army at every window and every doorway of my house, right? I put a bubble of protection around my children every single day. What can you do? Every night, I call all my power back to me from all people, places, and things. I call all my energy back to me from all people, places, and things in all directions of time and space across all galaxies, realms, and dimensions, right? So get in the practice of doing that, especially as person that's a part of the woo woo crew. Like your light is super bright, right? Your energy is delicious. Your gifts are amazing. But just like when you cut the light on, sometimes the good can come to your house, right? Because you're like a lighthouse and you're letting the ships know that they're safe harbor. The light is also on for those that aren't in alignment with that as well, right? So you're getting just as many butterflies as mosquitoes sometimes, right? You want to be very mindful of that, right? Set some boundaries at this time. Starseed. I love it. What lights you up? Stay really high vibrational at this time, right? Like what lights you up? What makes your soul sing? What can you do to raise your vibration? Laugh, sing, dance, go for a walk, go for a run, take a bath, get a massage, take yourself out to dinner, go to the movies. Like be around people that make you feel good, right? Do the things that make you feel good and try to do them without the guilt. And I say that not only to you, to myself, because I'm a mom and sometimes I have to talk myself into doing things. I really do. Like I have to be like, with the kids, and I'm like, no, they got enough. They're okay. They're fine. Like you need to go do something too. Like you need underwear as well. It's not just about them, right? So do the things that make you feel good. Last night, as I was doing some work and I did my prayers and meditations and connected with the ancestors and stuff like that, I was just feeling a little heavy. And I had been out, taking the kids trick or treating. So I'm picking up all these energies and transmuting stuff, working with the violet flame. And I was like, you know what? Let me throw in some comedy. Let me just laugh before I go to bed so I don't have that like dense energy on me, right? And so I tell that to so many of my clients, as well as you guys here in the tribe, like do something that makes you laugh. Even if it's going on YouTube and listening to like freaking comedy for like 5 or 10 minutes, do something to kind of raise your vibration and kind of like shake those energies up. So at least that you go to bed with a clear head and you're going to bed with a higher vibration, right? You're going out into the world with a higher vibration. Become your own sage wand, okay? Dance with life. I love that. Do something to change your energy. What did I just say? What did I just say? Dance. Dance with life. Dance, dance like nobody's looking. I mean, be in the kitchen and dance while you're cooking. Dance in the shower. Like, do the damn thing. No one is judging. It doesn't matter if you're dancing on beat or not. It doesn't matter what the song is, right? We want to just feel good within our bodies, right? And raise our vibration. Priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? Again, like I said, many of you, you're psychic and like telepathic gifts are just being activated at this time, right? So some of those gifts that you have from past lives that have been dormant within your DNA are going to really start to be activated in the next coming weeks, right? And so this is the time for you not to push that stuff away, right? Not to overthink it, not to think that you're not qualified, you're not good enough. You absolutely are. God qualifies you, right? God qualifies you. It doesn't matter about the people around you, their judgments, the paperwork, all that stuff. God qualifies you. So where are you being called to lead? Where are you being called to share your light? What are you being called to do? Right? And are you willing to at least start taking some baby steps to get there? Right? It doesn't mean that you're going to know everything ahead of time. We don't know everything ahead of time. The path will never be revealed to us that way. But one small step is still one small step, right? Even writing it down on paper or just like questioning, pondering, it's like, oh, maybe I should do this. I wonder what that looks like and try to like envision it, right? And just doing that small part is going to start taking you further and further, further down your path. Beautiful. Unbound. Love this. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. There's a lot of healing going on, right? Our ancestors have been coming through heavy for us to help us to shift these energies, to help us clear this density, and also just like as loving support and almost apologetic. I had my ancestors kind of come to me and be like, sorry, like sorry that we left you with this burden. Sorry that you have to like pick up this torch. Sorry that you have to want to like, break these curses. But they're doing so in loving support, right? They're on the other side of the veil, like cheering me on and putting a battery in my back and like just getting me really freaking motivated. So I know a lot of this energy can seem really heavy, especially during this time. Um, there's been so much clearing, so much healing, right? With that scorpionic eclipse, that wasn't like a gentle nudge forward that we've been having over the past couple of months, right? When we were in Virgo, we were in Libra, we were like gently guided to heal, gently guided to release, gently guided to focus on ourselves, gently guided to do some self love. Eclipses are like boom, right? And it's like somebody pushed you from the back, right? You just went kind of like flying forward, right? And for many of us, right, we fell on our face, right? You fall on your hands and knees, and you're just like, what the fuck? Somebody just pushed me from the back. But that's this energy. It's like, no, like you walked the line long enough, right? You did it carefully and nicely long enough. No, now it's shit to get off the pot. It's like, let's go, do something, figure it out. You'll figure it out a long way. Yeah, you don't got a flashlight, too bad. You have more than enough time to get a flashlight. Oh, but I needed more water. All right, well, you'll figure it out. You better get water at the next rest area because you have more than enough time to get yourself ready. It's like, we're leaving now. The plane is taking off now. Nobody wants to hear that crap. I know it's intense. And then deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held. There's a lot going on right now, right? And so you do need to take a step back and get some rest. This eclipse energy is exhausting, right? If you're feeling really like just tired lately and just kind of like, oh, like that's that eclipse energy. Like it takes a lot out of us. It takes a lot out of us. So hydrating, resting, getting some lighter foods in your body, right? Just not overdoing it at this time is really going to be super, super helpful to you, right? Drinking water with pink Himalayan salt or lemon or cucumber and mint is going to help rehydrate and refreshen your cells, right? We're embodying a lot of light at this time. There's a lot of downloads coming. There's a lot of activations going on within our physical vessel. We are literally ascending while we're still in our physical bodies, right? This isn't the time of Yeshua and all of the prophets where you had to die in order to ascend. Like, no, we're ascending now in the physical body. So your body, your DNA is literally transforming every single day as all these light codes are coming in, right? And so you need to like work with it, right? Work with these energies and give them something that they can use, right? And so you want to rest and let them, it's like when you go to sleep and all of a sudden you wake up and like half the stuff that you were dealing with before you went to bed are cleared up. Your skin is cleared up, you feel better, your headache is gone away, your stomach doesn't hurt anymore. It's because you've given your body time to do what it needs to do and you've gotten out of its way. That's what we need to do right now, right? We need to get out of our body's way, we need to get out of our soul's way, and we need to just let ourselves be guided, let it do what it do. Let ourselves do what they know to do best, right? The body self heals. Time for us to skedaddle to the side and let that happen. All right, thank you, angels and ancestors, for these messages. What does the woo woo crew need to know, need to see during this time? Sorry, I just don't feel like that's complete. It's funny, I'm having a hard time holding on to this deck, which is odd because I've been using this deck for years. So it shows me that like we're having a hard time holding on to it. It's almost like you want to hold on to something, but you can't. It's like you're losing your grip on things, right? Like things are just not they don't feel the same way. They don't look the same way. They're not flowing the same way that they've been doing before. Right? Like that's the energy that I'm getting from that difficulty. Wow, look where we stopped. On the sky. Trust in the unknown, right? So this is the most high coming through and supporting you. Like daughter, son, I love you more than anything else, right? Like, call on me, trust in me, put your faith in me, pour into me, understand that, like, I've got you beyond a shadow of a doubt, right? It's like trusting in something so much higher than yourself and seeing the big picture, right? Because, look, the beautiful eagle energy, love my eagles, one of my spirit animals, but eagles are up high, right? They fly above the storms, right? They never get caught up in the storm. They're not like fighting against the clouds and rains. No, they go above the storms and they see things clearly. They're looking above everything and they have a much broader perspective of what's going on. And so that's what we're being guided to do, to step back, move upward, and to just have a broader perspective of everything that's going on, right? Not get caught up in the day to day, not get caught up in the humdrums of life. Okay. Air Guardian, look at this. Shift your perception. You can't make this up. You guys saw me shuffle on camera, right? Again, same energy. Same with this air energy, right? So air traditionally in the tarot is the um symbol of the mind, right? It's the swords. That's like our mind, our thoughts. So you want to shift your thoughts to something bigger and greater than yourself. You want to shift your thoughts up to something higher. Like understand that like we're doing things for the collective as well as for ourselves. So first you want to start with yourself, right? Because if you're not good, then how can you help anybody else? But also understanding the big picture of things, right? It's like I'm doing this amazing work for me as well as for my children, my ancestors, my descendants, and the collective as a whole. Right? I show up every day tired, hungry, annoyed, whatever, because I know that it's not just about me anymore, right? Like I had that very real awareness brought to my attention by the Most High. So take a step back and look at the big picture during this time, right? Again, I know things may seem a little rocky, a little chaotic. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, right? There's a lot going on spiritually. There's a lot going on energetically. There's a lot going on planetarily. But these things are happening for us, not to us. We're moving into the age of Aquarius, right? We're moving towards this beautiful golden age. That's going to take a couple of freaking, you know, couple of thousands of years actually before we fully get off the bridge and we're in the next era. So in this time, we have some work to do, right? We got some cleaning up to do. You got to clean up your house, your energetic house, your mental house, your physical house, your emotional house, right? Step by step, one day at a time. And this isn't a freaking sprint, it's a marathon, right? And understand that, guys. Like, we're eternal beings. This is a marathon. You don't have to get everything done today. And don't allow the Mars retrograde energy to frustrate you and make you feel like you're not on path because you're not getting everything done today, right? As much as I would hate to say this, like, we're not doing things in a New York minute. That kills my New York soul, right? But act like you're in the freaking American South where they just kind of take everything easy and slow and forever. All right, spring, see your seeds grow, right? If you're in the southern hemisphere, right, this is your springtime, right? So you're in the season of like harvest and you're starting to see things change for you, right? You're starting to see the little buzz, right? The little blossoming going on. And if you're in the northern hemisphere, we're in the season of autumn, right? And so this is just letting you know that you're releasing things right now to get ready for your springtime, right? You're getting ready to see things grow. So either way you look at it, we have fertility coming, we have abundance coming, we're seeing things grow, we're seeing things change, right? We release some things in order to make room for the new blessings that are coming into our life, right? So we have something better, something greater, something grander coming into our lives right now. And it's time for us to leap forward in order to embrace that. Look at this. Can't make this up. Why? Because we're shedding the old skin with the snake energy, right? You're getting rid of the old in order to bring in the new. Right? We're letting this go so that we can get to this, right? And I know it might be hard, it might be challenging, right? Even as a light worker and a way shower, like the way that you do something right now is gonna look a little bit different towards the end of the year and moving into next year. I'm just letting you know that right now. Whether you're a healer, a psychic, however your gifts show up, we're all being shifted and upgraded. I'm telling you right now, you're about to learn new parts of yourself that have been dormant for a minute. You're about to have way more activations and awarenesses of the ancient spiritual truths coming online within you. You might have been a priestess in every lifetime, and it's still going to be different in this lifetime. It's still going to be different in this lifetime. This is a whole new world, a whole new era that we're moving into. There's a freaking spiritual war going on right now, right? World War III, where we are really just like standing in our power, standing in our truth. And some of us have to activate at different levels of our being and activate in different ways in order to be the shield and the protectors for the collective, as well as shielding and protecting ourselves, right? Like, there's energies around that would like would you like would like nothing more than for you to give up, for you to quit, for you to believe that little delay is actually a denial, for you to believe that that no or that wait and that postponement is a freaking a period, as in an exclamation point, as opposed to a comma, and this is you having to come forward and stand forward and be like, no, fuck that. Like, I'm taking a spiritual break. I'm gonna go take this bath real quick, and I'm gonna get my thoughts together, and I'm gonna get my energy together so that I can come back and be stronger than I ever was before, right? I'm gonna take a step back from this project that I was working on because I want to see it from a different set of eyes, or I'm gonna bring somebody else into it to kind of look at it and give me their set of eyes because I've been looking at this thing for so long. My eyes are starting to cross. I'm just like, I can't see it anymore. Like, I've lost focus. Sometimes we just need to take a step back to realize why we're doing all of this, right? You're working on these projects, these goals, these dreams, and you're just like, it's becoming work, it's becoming a task, it's becoming something that you feel like you have to do as opposed to something you want to do. And sometimes you need to take a step back so you can remember big picture wise. It's like, why did I sign up for this anyway, right? Like, why did I sign up to be a twin flame? Why did I sign up to be a light worker? Why did I sign up to be in this freaking earth during this time? Why am I here as a way shower? Why am I here as a witch? Why am I here as a Reiki healer, right? Why am I here as a psychic? Like, why am I doing all of this? And sometimes you need to take a step back in order to reflect on that. Sometimes you need to do something else and shift your energies in order to be reminded of what it is that you're here for, right? I I'm an international psychic as well as a healer as well as a coach. I get to work with hundreds of people all the time and I get to change people's lives every single day. And it is one of the most beautiful things that I ever experienced, but it's also really exhausting. And sometimes I have to just take a step back and I just like kind of want to shut everything down and shut everybody down and then I'll have a conversation with someone and then I'll remember why I'm doing this, right? Or sometimes I'll have someone will say something to me and it's like a reminder, like, this is why you're doing this, Sometimes you just need to see it through somebody else's eyes. Sometimes you need to hear it through from somebody else's mouth, right? Sometimes a book comes to you, or a story comes to you, or a reader comes to you, and they just remind you of your worthiness and your deservingness, right? And so I'm here to tell you, like, you're worthy, you're deserving, you're valuable, you're amazing, you're needed. Right? If you weren't needed, you would have crossed over to the other side of the veil. And many of you, it's 2:22 on the clock, many of you have experienced a lot of loss recently, right? And will continue to see loss. There's always a lot of loss during this time of year with the veil being so thin and souls crossing back and forth, and that's not to think that, oh my God, this is awful, my life is over. Like, no, it's like these souls have already finished their task. They are on to the next level of their ascension. Some of them will be coming back to help us, and some of them are just too tired. There's a lot of light coming into this world right now. There's a lot of light, and that is a lot to embody. It's a lot to embody. It is a lot to embody, and not everybody wants to do all of this work. But here you are, part of the woo woo crew, clocking in every day, showing up every day, doing it, fighting, swimming upstream. The currents are crazy. It's like feeling like you're in the boat with Jesus and he's sleeping. The storms are winning. You're like, am I going to die? And Yeshua comes back and he's like, when's it calm? I'm like, no, you're not going to die. You bugging. I'm right here with you. It's a storm. Relax. Like I got you. I'm right here with you. So just a reminder that you're in the eye of the storm right now. You can choose to go into the winds and the waves and get all chaotic, or you can remember I'm in the eye of the storm and it might be going on around me, but it's not happening to me, and I'm going to be fine. And wherever I land, it's going to be perfect. Right? Right, Dorothy? Right? Wherever the house lands, you may not be in Kansas anymore, but you're going to see life in color, and it's going to be delicious, and it's going to be magnetic, and it's going to be powerful. Okay? And then finally, we have Drum with Dream and Journey. That's not surprising to me. Like I said, with all of our psychic gifts coming online, your dreams may be getting really, really, really potent at this time. Also, I like the fact that Journey came out because we had releasing soul contracts, right? And so some of you may be guided to do soul retrievals, right? Shamanic journeying. Like, if that's what you're being guided to do, to kind of like tap into your past lives, do so. I don't do soul retrievals and shamanic journeying really for the collective, but I do past life readings if you're interested in something like that, because sometimes we got to take a look at our past in order to realize where we're moving forward, right? And it's not like we're getting stuck there. It's not like we can do anything about it, but it's kind of like understanding where this pattern came from, understanding um, where we picked up these habits, these traits, right? That's where our ancestors are coming through and being like, hey, we're sorry. We love you. We get it. Like, we left you with like a shit show. It's like you earn this beautiful estate from your ancestors, and then you realize like there's all these taxes on it. There's a whole staff there. People were stealing from you. The house is falling apart, and you're just like, wow, I thought this was gonna be like a life changing gift, and now like it feels like it sucks, right? And so it's like, oh, I got to do all this work to kind of get it together, but at the end of this day, you still get this piece of your legacy together, right? So perspective, baby's perspective, which we already talked about perspective. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. I love you. God loves you. Angels surround you. You guys are amazing. You're so needed. Just like I'm kind of a big deal, so are you, right? We're all big deals. So tap into these energies, connect with your psychic gifts, um, light some candles, right? To connect with your ancestors, to connect with your higher self. I have a beautiful purple candle that yeah, I want to smell it. That I got lit, right? Because purple is the color not only of royalty, which we all are royal beings from the Most High, but also of your psychic gifts and insights and mystical visions and arts, right? So it's like I'm tapping more into that self because I already feel it. I already know what's happening. So I'm like, all right, just come on, bring it. What else do I need to know? What else do I need to know? What else do I need to be doing? And then I woke up today and my third eye was like, "Choo, choo, choo, choo." So anyway, I love you. God loves you. Angels surround you. If you want to book a reading with me, all my information is at the bottom as well as at the top of this video. Past life reading, Akashic records, love, general, whatever it is you need. If you just need someone to talk to about all the stuff that you're going through at this time, we can set up a spirituality call. Like I said, I'm a life, sex, and spirituality coach, as well as a healer, as well as an international psychic. So I'm here for you, and I love you. Later, my beloveds. Later.